Before we begin, I have just one request. Put on your headphones, turn off the lights, and let the world outside fade away. Because some stories aren't just meant to be heard, they're meant to be felt. Every whisper, every breath, every sound behind you might not be just in the story. So, are you ready? Let's begin.
The last broadcast.
It was supposed to be a harmless job, not glamorous, not lucrative, but it paid well, and that was more than most freelance gigs did these days. Cal Vaughn had been out of steady work for months, and when the anonymous email landed in his inbox, he didn't ask too many questions. Recover and remaster archived audio logs from WZUR 103.6 FM. Equipment on site. NDA required. Hazard pay included. WZUR, a long dead radio station tucked away in a forgotten part of town, half swallowed by trees and urban decay. Cal remembered vague rumors about it, something about a DJ going missing, weird broadcasts, even a fire. But the details were lost to time, buried beneath layers of static and speculation. And anyway, it wasn't his job to believe in ghost stories. It was his job to clean up audio. That's all. He arrived just after sunset. The building stood like a tomb. 2 stories of brick and mildew, windows boarded, the sign hanging by one rusted chain. WZUR 103.6, the pulse of the night. The front door gave way with a groan like an old man rising from a long sleep. The air inside was thick with rot and time. Dust hung like mist in the yellow beam of his flashlight. He passed ancient vinyl posters, peeling wallpaper, a warped receptionist desk. Then the silence hit him. It wasn't just quiet, it was dead, as if the building had been vacuum sealed from the world. Even his footsteps were muffled. It felt wrong in his bones. He shook it off. The studio was at the end of the hallway, behind a door marked Live in faded red paint. He unlocked it, stepped in, and immediately felt it, an electric pressure like static building before a storm. To his surprise, the generator in the basement still hummed. The mixing console was archaic but functional. A stack of reel-to-reel tapes sat neatly on the desk, labeled by hand. Archive 1989-1994. Cal exhaled. Time to get to work. He loaded the first reel. The tape hissed, cracked, and then a voice emerged, low, crackling, like it had traveled through the grave to reach him. This is DJ Lazarus, coming at you live with the last sounds you'll ever hear. The name made him blink. Lazarus. He'd heard that name before. Online forums, urban legend threads, the DJ who vanished mid-broadcast in '94. People said he'd gone mad on air, that he spoke in tongues, that his final show could still be heard if you tuned your radio at the right time on the right night. Cal had always thought it was a hoax. Now he wasn't so sure. The voice continued, accompanied by something strange, music that didn't fit any genre. Low-frequency hums, metallic shrieks, whispers layered backwards and slowed until they barely resembled words. The kind of audio that makes your skin crawl. Halfway through the playback, Cal felt something wet drip from his nose. He wiped it. Blood. He yanked off the headphones, heart pounding. Maybe he was tired, or maybe the equipment had some ultrasonic frequency messing with him. Still, the unease lingered. There was something alive in that tape. He took a break, stepped outside for air. The sky had turned dark, moonless. The world seemed to hold its breath. Back inside, he reached for another reel. This one dated October 31st, 1992. A Halloween show. He hit play. The same voice returned. "They are here," Lazarus whispered. "Underneath the static, between the stations. They're coming for the ones who listen." Then silence, and then a rhythmic tapping. 4 beats. Then 3, then 1. Tap, 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 tap. Cal froze. That wasn't on the tape. It was outside the booth. He turned his head slowly to the glass. Nothing, just the empty hallway. But something about the pattern nagged at him, like a signal, a code. He tried to shake it off, but when he turned back to the monitor, the audio meters were peaking, which was impossible. The station's broadcast tower had been torn down decades ago. The building wasn't connected to anything. Yet something was transmitting, and something else was responding. That night, Cal stayed in the booth. He told himself it was to protect the gear, to finish early. But really, it was the feeling that if he left, the station would vanish behind him, or worse, follow. At 3:36 a.m., the speakers crackled. Not the Lazarus tape this time. A new voice. Female. Young. Faint. "He never left," she said. "He waits between the frequencies." The signal warped. Distorted music bled in. echoes of screams, prayers in languages Cal didn't recognize, and under it all, a bell. Slow, hollow, ringing. He lunged for the console. Nothing responded. The knobs were locked, the lights dimmed, and the frequency locked in 103.6 megahertz. The station's original call. The broadcast continued on its own. The reel spun, the dials turned themselves, and for a moment, Cal saw a shape, a man in the reflection of the booth glass, wearing headphones, smiling. He pulled out, panting. Enough was enough. He had to stop. He needed to know what he was dealing with. The next morning, he searched the console drawers and found a worn black notebook, a logbook. Scrawled entries filled the pages. Some crossed out, some smeared with ink and what looked like dried blood. Open quote, "The tape feeds on ears. Do not play it aloud." He's in the static now. Don't turn the dial. Do not touch tape 7. He said the station is a mouth and the signal is his voice. We are not alone in here. Close quote. He found tape 7 buried at the bottom of the cabinet. No label, just a black reel. Something inside him screamed to leave it alone, but his hands didn't listen. He loaded it into the machine. Silence. Then, "Welcome back, Cal." The booth grew cold. Frost gathered on the glass. His breath steamed. The reel spun, whispering secrets he didn't want to hear. And somewhere in the hallway, footsteps, soft, slow, getting closer. The console lights flickered. The reel screamed. Then all went black. When he woke, the booth was dark. The hallway, gone. In its place was something else, a corridor stretching infinitely, lined with identical sound booths. Each window glowed with red light, and inside every one, someone screamed, silent, open-mouthed terror, broadcasting forever. He ran. Down one hallway. Then another. But every turn brought him back to the same room. The booth. Tape 7 still spinning, the red light blinking. On air. He fell to his knees, sobbing. The speaker above crackled. Live, 103.6, the pulse of the night. His own voice, but he hadn't spoken. Not yet. 2 days later, authorities found him. Curled up in the corner of the booth, eyes wide open, ears bleeding. The reel still spun, though the console was unplugged. No power in the building. The generator had melted down. His equipment was fried. Only one file remained, recovered from a corrupted drive. Last broadcast .wave, 46 minutes of white noise, followed by 10 seconds of Cal's voice. Don't listen. Don't record. Don't tune in. Once you hear it, you become it. Then a bell rings. Once, twice, 3 times. And silence. They shut WZUR down for good, condemned the building, fenced it off, but some say if you drive through town late at night and turn your radio to 103.6 megahertz, you'll hear something. A faint hum, a soft voice, a whisper. Good evening, night crawlers. You're listening to the last broadcast. Let's begin again. And if you hear the bell, don't change the station. It's already too late.